non-violent petty offenses that relate more to poverty than they do to harm to society. COVID taught us one thing, that it is possible to decongest prisons without having an adverse effect on the society. And therefore, if we are to take a lesson from COVID, it is this: that numbers that are over 200% or even 50% are not necessary. There is something that is built within our system that we need to question again. We very much welcome these initiatives, as our position is that detention should not be punitive. That in fact it should be appropriate not only to the circumstances of the case, but appropriate to the circumstances of the person. Many of those who are in pre-detention trial and who are in detention pre-trial are in detention because they cannot afford the amounts of bail or bond that have been imposed upon them. Many of these without an appropriate assessment of the circumstances of the individual themselves. And so we welcome the ODPP's efforts to decongest by looking at who needs to be inside or behind bars and who can come or attend their trial either through Zoom or in person, and what can be put instead. We note that the effect of pre-trial detention has an effect far lasting beyond the period of detention. There's a problem that the LSK president has spoken to: access to justice. While behind bars, it is very difficult to access, even to communicate with one's lawyer. The time given for communication and the conditions for communication, including the use of technology. We thank the CGP for the allowance of the technology into the prisons. However, we note that it is nothing near what is needed in order for our almost 4,000 brothers in this single institution to have time to access their lawyers, time to access information that they require from the prosecution in order to prepare for their cases, and time to engage with their families. And let us not forget that one of the most important aspects of well-being and wellness is for them who are fathers, brothers, husbands, to be able to access their families and to ensure that their families are well. The loss of livelihood, the impact on family, and the stigma goes on well beyond the period of detention, even where acquittal follows, and this is an injustice. We welcome the review of the Prisons Act, and we note that there is a review that is aligned to the Mandela rules and to the Model Prisons Act. We look forward to that review, supporting the efforts made by the ODPP and others to decongest prisons, and we look forward to this comprehensive review being passed by Parliament soon, making Kenya a model country for other countries to be able to follow on what is possible in terms of prison.